This was a sad chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. The symbol of peace is gone. He no longer has any ability or power to fight anymore. He can no longer even maintain his muscle form. All Might is pretty much over. He has finally stepped down. And his body and his condition is getting worse, as you can see in this chapter. It's very sad. We all knew that after the outcome of last week's chapter, that's what was going to happen. But just seeing it in this chapter, it just hits you. It hits you really hard. Now, this chapter had a lot of feels to it. For one, the final part of the chapter, when you see All Might tell Izuku the truth, like, you know, he no longer can be the symbol of peace and all that, and, you know, how he can't use his, you know, muscle form. And then he looks at Izuku and he's like, I'm going to train you. I want to make sure I bring you up right. I want to, you know, make you into the next, you know, great hero. That was a really good moment. And we already know. We know Izuku has been narrating his life for a little bit when it comes to the beginning of the series. We've seen it time and time again. And now seeing it like this, it's really sad to see how the next generation is already here. Izuku is now carrying on the legacy of All Might and becoming the next #1 hero. The world takes note that every time Shigaraki's crew loses, they grow more powerful when they come back. And it's something that's constantly happened time and time again. He gains more followers, he gets stronger, he's being able to outthink different heroes. I mean, look what he was when he first fought Eraserhead. Like, the first battle when we first met Shigaraki, he wasn't, like, the best villain of all time, but the way he fought Eraserhead was very, very smart. And every time Shigaraki loses, he learns from his mistakes. And that's one of the key points when it comes to series or anything in life. I mean, you actually learn best when you fail. Failure causes you to learn how to better yourself and overcome those problems you once had. And that's kind of how Shigaraki is. He has lost a lot, and he knows now how to overcome these issues he once faced. And I like how, you know, the series is trying to integrate that in with his character, of how he's constantly gotten stronger and stronger every time he has lost. And next time he resurfaces again in the middle of society, he's going to be a hell of a lot stronger than he was to begin with. So I like that. I like that part about this chapter. And also, there's a lot of damage in the world, and I'm willing to bet the PR is probably fucking ridiculous right now, because the entire world saw that All Might can no longer be the symbol of peace. And that would mean that more villains will start running amok. They'll start causing issues, killing people, stealing, blowing up stuff, just anything they possibly can do, and that causes it to where it'll be more chaos, kind of like before the times when All Might existed. As we know, when All Might finally appeared, crime rate went down. It was said at the beginning of the series, and now with villains being able to put the pieces together on what's really going on with All Might, it's not going to be a safe world anymore. It's going to be a world that's very dangerous, and villains are going to start ruling a lot more. They're going to be able to do what they want more. And this leaves time for, I guess, Izuku to shine, to finally step up, become the next symbol, the next pillar for the society, and the next hero. I could see that being one of the main things of how he becomes the next All Might, and he clearly stops the crime rate and makes it go down. I would love that if it actually happened like that. But then, one thing that really made me sad, and I did not expect from this chapter, was to see Endeavor in a sad, pitiful state. And I didn't really think about it at the time when All Might was going through all of his issues with All for One. He was fighting him, a life or death battle. I didn't think about Endeavor at all. And as we know, Endeavor has been a kind of a big part of Boku no Hero Academia, or at the very least of how Todoroki's upbringing was. And Endeavor, as we know, he's the second strongest hero. He was right beneath All Might, and he was always trying to get stronger than All Might. He always wanted to be the #1 hero, and that's why he had Todoroki. He had children where they could overcome All Might as well. And now that, you know, All Might is gone, he's pretty much removed as a hero. He's no longer the symbol of peace. He can no longer be the #1 hero, which that would mean that Endeavor is now the #1 hero. And it was a very sad moment when I actually looked at that part of the chapter. When you see Endeavor in his room by himself and all that, and he now realizes that he is the #1 hero, but he didn't get the #1 hero spot because he wanted to. He didn't get it because he beat All Might. He didn't get it like that. He got it because All Might was an honorable man that went out, did all he could, and then finally couldn't be a hero any longer. He gave up everything. And Endeavor realized that, and I feel like that's going to show some room for character development for him, and how he's probably going to change his outlook on Todoroki and maybe become more of a father figure. Hope that does happen. But that's kind of crazy, though. I didn't expect to see Endeavor in such a sad state. I mean, it reminds me a lot of how maybe Bakugo might act, too. And maybe that's kind of some foreshadowing to what might eventually happen between Izuku and Bakugo. Like, they might have this rivalry and stuff, but they are very close friends, and maybe they care about each other. I could see that really happening. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day, or nights, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.